Alright you guys, this is take 2 of this video. I just filmed this whole video and I got like emotional and stuff, and turns out it wasn't recording, but Lord, please can this video just record. But yeah, so we are here. Also, how cool is this? These two match. I didn't realize this until now, and ever since like for the most of this year I've been drinking water, 2 liters of water a day, so I'm really gotta keep that up. So let me just yeah. Anyway, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning into this video. And so this video I am just talking about when life looks a little different. I've got notes here just to like be more intentional with this videos, and I completely apologize for the dogs barking and the generator going on in the background. So many things are trying to hinder this video, but not today. There is load shedding, and so because we live like close to office parks, the office neighbors, the neighbors who are in office, have their generator on. So when life looks a little different, so I just want to give you a little background of my life at the moment. I won't go super in depth, but at the end of the year I'm going to do like a gap year recap type of thing, and then was this in my, yeah, I'm going to do like a gap year recap type of video, and just sharing like all the super amazing things that God has done. But yeah, so I graduated high school in 2018, class of 2018, and so I've always wanted to be a neonatologist, which is like a doctor for newborn babies, and so I applied for medicine. Excuse me. There's so much happening in the background. Anyway, so I applied for medicine, and then my second choice, so Wits, the university which I was applying to, has this option where you can do a BHSC, so a Bachelor of Health Sciences, and then it has like 3 streams, and the one I chose was biokinetics because I did first aid in high school, and I don't know, the whole like sports injury side of things really was fascinating to me, especially rugby. Love rugby injuries, not the people who are getting injured, but like, you know, and I absolutely love that. And so then my second option was like a BHSC in biokinetics, and then my third option was BA Fine Arts, which is like completely different, but then I realized that I love art, but I didn't want to study it you know, for like 4 years. But yeah, so that's what happened, and so I applied into those, and unfortunately I didn't get into medicine, and then I realized like, okay, BA Fine Arts isn't the one for me, although I love art history and like art, and maybe I'll go back and do it some other time. And so then I decided to then go into BHSC in biokinetics, and so 2019 I started varsity university, and so that was my first year, which no one tells you about how hard varsity is. Like, no, I think I'm actually going to do like a Christian survival guide to the first year of university type of video. But yeah, no one tells you about how hard that is. Anyway, but it was hard, but it was also beautiful, and I made some beautiful friends. And so yeah, so I went through that. I did like first year of university, and of course my degree is quite expensive because it's a health sciences degree. It's literally like the same as studying medicine, right? The cost of the degree. And because I wasn't born here, and just like some other like immigration type stuff, I have to pay all my I'm considered an international student, and I have to pay all my fees up front, and so that's almost like $100,000 up front that I had to pay to the varsity, or like essentially upfront. And so just going into the December holidays last year, I just sort of had a feeling that I wasn't going to go back to school this year, and I think something so beautiful is that the Lord just gave me so much peace about it, and I just like knew starting this year, you know, registration time rolled around, and you know, and then we asked for like late registration, and then that sort of turned into, okay, actually let's have a real conversation, and am I going back to school this year? And so I just sort of knew that I wasn't going to be able to go back to school this year, and so then I'm doing like a gap year. I thought, you know, well, I have to get a job. I wanted to get a job last year, and then I didn't, and so I was like, this year, well, I'm not going to school, so let me get a job instead of sitting around at home all day. And so yeah, that's what is happening with me at the moment. And so that's why, like, you always hear I'm saying like, yeah, I work part-time at the moment because that's the job that I have, which is such an amazing job, and then the other 4 days I'm at home, like, you know, doing my own thing. And so life is looking a lot more different than I thought it would. You know, I thought this year that I would be in second year university or varsity. I'm so used to saying varsity that like other people might not understand, but varsity is university. And so I thought I'd be in second year varsity this year, but I'm not, you know, and so life is looking different than what I thought it would. But I'm just here, you know, the whole purpose of this video is to encourage you that if this season of life is looking different than what you thought it would, that God is still working in this season. You know, there's the song Seasons by Hillsong Worship, part of their There Is More album, which you have to listen to, the album and the song, but specifically the song, and it literally just wraps up everything I'm trying to say in the song. But yeah, you know, and so even though life is looking so much more different than I thought, it's still beautiful. And I wrote here in a blog post that I did, which my blog is linked down below, so you should go check this out. This was like when life looks a little different, the blog post. And then I'm just about to record a podcast episode where I'm talking about this like more in depth. So the podcast is also linked down below and you should go check that out. But I wrote here and it says, if life is looking a bit different than you thought it would, that's okay. If you're loving this new season but also struggling to adjust, that's okay too. You're 1000% allowed to be both a work in progress and a masterpiece simultaneously. And this is just so true. You know, the crazy thing is that I have been able to do things this year that I wouldn't be able to do because I would have been in varsity, and every single one of those I've been extremely passionate about. I was able to paint like wall mural painting, like hand lettering on walls at my church for this like new generational ministry house that they were busy like, you know, doing, which I never would have been able to do if I was at school all the time, you know, which is something that I'm so passionately about. And then literally while I was doing that, that's when I got my job. So now I have a part-time job, which is admin, like admin assistant, which I love admin and like, you know, just organizing, and so it's a job that I genuinely enjoy, you know. And then I got to start my prints business, you know, my hand lettered prints, which I've talked so much about, but that's something I'm passionate about as well, and something that I always wanted to open a hand lettering shop, which I'm still like in the process of opening a proper shop or like online shop. And I got to start that process, you know, which I wouldn't have been able to fully do if I was in school, or I would have been able to, but I wouldn't have been able to dedicate all the time that I have to it. And so everything that I've gotten to do this year, I'm genuinely passionate about. You know, I've gotten to start going to go to life group and get plugged in to, you know, community more. Because, you know, like last year Wednesdays were my busiest day from varsity, you know, getting home at like 6 p.m, which I still could have done it, but I just, you know, everything that is happening and doors are being opened that I never would have thought are possible. And I sincerely believe that this is God ordained, you know, this season of life. You know, I truly 1000% believe that God has already provided for my varsity next year, and for me to go to school and to finish my degree. But the way I'm getting there, you know, is just looking a little different. It's funny, we often try to put God in a box to say like, okay Lord, I want to get my degree and I want it to look like this and this and this, but you know, sometimes it's not going to look like that. Yes, I believe that I will get my degree and I know that I'll get my degree, but me getting there, the process of getting there is just a little different. And it's also been crazy because literally like some of my closest friends are literally in a very similar season of life as I am in, you know, not exactly the same, but a very similar season. And I've been put in community, and like some people, you know, are literally in the same season of life as I'm in. And so it's crazy that not only am I in this season of life, but there are people around me who are in the same season of life. And that doesn't mean that God ordained or that God caused this season to happen, right? But he is molding it for his glory and for his good. And I think that that is so beautiful. And so I'm just here to tell you that in this different season of life, God is working for his good. There's that verse, you know, God works together for good, the thing, you know, God works things together for the good of those who love him. I think that's the verse. And then also the thing of God is able to do abundantly more than you ever could have imagined. Yo, alright, this video is definitely going to speak to someone because this is like the third time trying. I had to like to go delete some stuff. Oh my goodness, I just need to sort out my storage. But yeah, so I was just saying that, like, it's crazy how there are people in the exact same or very similar season of life as I'm in. And so I honestly just want to encourage you, if life is looking a lot different this season, press into God. He is working. Oh, I think the electricity might be back because the generator just stopped. Okay, that's great though, because the like sound is better. But God is still working in this season, friend, and He is definitely still working 1000%. And I wrote here, He will use this season. He is God. He will use this season in ways you never thought possible. And I truly believe this. And so, friend, if life is looking a little bit different than you thought, press into God. Seek Him first. Seek His kingdom first this season. And look to Him alone. Pull into Him, press into Him and just look to Him. He is doing such good in this season. And so that's just what I wanted to encourage you guys. I really love these like faith sit down videos. And this is as much as me talking to you about it, but also me talking to me about it. And it's okay to struggle in this season a little bit. It's okay to enjoy this season. You are allowed, as long as you don't stay there. But yeah, just press into Jesus and He's got you, friend. And listen, if you're struggling, send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram link is in the bio below or in the description. I love getting to chat to you, and we are community. I'll insert the definition of community that the Lord impressed on my heart here, but we are community, friend. And I genuinely, whenever I heard like YouTubers say like, oh yeah, I love you guys, like I was like, do you really? But I truly love you guys. Whoever's watching this, I truly do love you guys. And I hope this touches someone's life, and if this impacted your life, share it to people who are in a different season than they thought they would be. And I'm not saying that it's not hard, and I'm not saying that it's like super easy breezy, like woohoo. No, it's hard, and you have to make hard decisions, and you have to do the hard things sometimes. But God is still here in this season, and He's still working and for His good. And when I look back on my life, I can just see God's hand through literally every single season of my life, right? I just see His hand, and how it's like, if I hadn't met certain people, and if I hadn't moved school so much, and if I hadn't moved countries and all that stuff, I wouldn't be at the church I'm at. I wouldn't have the community around me that I have. I wouldn't have the walk with Jesus that I have. I wouldn't be serving the kids that I do. Just life would be so much different. And so sometimes what feels like a roadblock is actually pointing you to the right destination. Ooh, that was literally on the spot. So sometimes what feels like a roadblock is actually pointing you to the right destination. And so just hold on to that, friend. God's got you, and I'm praying for you guys. Genuinely, I'm actually going to start praying for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Follow the Project Lumiere at the Project Lumiere on Instagram. Send me DMs. I love chatting to you guys. And then all the links are in the description below. And then subscribe to this channel. I post a new video every single Friday. And I'm really trying to be consistent with that, and sometimes even like on a Sunday or Monday. And so turn on the post notifications to be notified when those videos go live. Thank you so much, friend. I truly appreciate every single view this video gets, and I appreciate you watching. If you got to the end of this, hands up. If you got to the end of this, like, well done. I really genuinely, like, wow, this is a long video. Not as long as my weekly vlog though. Anyway, okay, I need to go. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.